baptism. Oh, no, sorry, not a baptism.
Confirmation.
No, wait, it is a baptism. No, it's not baptism.
Bar mitzvah?
No, what's the first communion? Yeah, Trista's first communion.
Right,
not the baptism.
Not the water.
I got a meeting thing going on for that. Wow, we're getting off track, but that's okay. So the next game was the 0-3 is the 0-3 handicap Quacks.
Quacks! Quack, 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 Mr. Duckworth.
1-2 Rockdalian Senators. And man, I mean, Handy Quacks goes to 0-4.
Battle of Rockdale.
I think it's over for him. I think it's officially over for him.
It's not looking good.
He can't expect to make the playoffs going 0-4, although he could try to be the first team ever to do so, and he very well may be. Yeah. Right? If there's a team to do it, it would probably be him. But
it's gotta get hot. Hot.
But let's start with getting that first win for him.
Yeah.
If you're Will, you also need a win here. You started off with a win, and now you've lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
He's been mediocre to shitty for a while now.
Well, like basically his whole life.
Well, yeah, or his career, because we're really just focusing on fantasy.
Oh, yeah,
but we're not talking about him personally.
That
would be mean. Yeah. 3-0 or 2-1 Rapists up against the either 0-3 or 1-2 Brutal Deluxe, and this is Visions here at Dynasty Bowl 8. I'm sure Brandon doesn't want to remember that.
Not going to be quite the same, I don't think.
Probably not. 2-1 VIP on Swole up against the 1-2 Yellow Peril. That's a pretty good game there. And then the 2-1 Boston Loggers up against the 3-0 Hong Kong Cavaliers, and this is actually the first time that these two teams are playing in which, following the incident that occurred on the Keeper Selection Show where Coach Whiffen was very mean to Ben Green. He talked about railing Ben's future wife, and Ben has yet to actually respond, so I'm curious to see if he will respond just by his team's effort, or if he will, come out and do something about it, because you can't just sit back in this league, Bob. Can't do it.
Cannot do it. Cannot play with him.
And then the Bubblegum Shrimp were up 0-3 up against the 2-1 Pig Newton.
Yeah.
Any game of the week, Bob, kind of stands out to you? If you could pick one again that you just you had to watch, what would be the one?
I think honestly, and maybe I don't want to get smited for this. I think Handy Quacks at Senators only because they're 2 good teams. Well, presumably good rosters.
Right.
And the loser
could be done.
Yeah, that's a pretty important game, and that could definitely be high scoring.
Absolutely, and of course the Loggers and Hong Kong game is also very intriguing.
Yes.
But we don't want to go with the two best record teams every single time. So I'm good with that. Handy
Plus, I don't want to pick Whiffen in anything.
Oh, okay. Even if it was like a Red Rover, Dodge, anything.
If I had to pick someone to run over in my car, I would pick Whiffen.
Now it is time. Fucking right, it's time. So grab your balls and let's go. Coach's interview. Here we fucking go.
And now, on the Jubes Family Restaurant Coach's Guest Hotline. He is a Dynasty board member. He is a Dynasty Trading Committee member. He is the Dynasty 2 champion. He is the reigning South Riverdale Division champion. He is Era 1 Hall of Famer. He once broke his goddamn hand punching a concrete wall. He is Coach Phil Tamulus of the 2-1 Pig Newtons. Coach, thank you so much for being on the Dynasty Podcast.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Pleasure to be on.
And thank you, of course, for opening for Tom Hanks, which is yet to happen, but will happen soon.
I'm still hesitant. Johnny feed me the very event debate via email, and I'm kind of siding with Johnny at this point, but I'm here to be proven wrong.
I hear ya. I don't blame you all for your reluctance. But although this is the motherfucking scooper, and you bastards know, once I set my mind to something, anything's possible. I learned that from Back to the Future. George McFly wrote it about it in his book.
Yeah.
So anyway,
is Bubs there?
Oh,
Yeah.
Bub's here.
Hi, Phil. Hey. Hey.
Hi.
I'm here.
Say
Hey.
hi to my friend Bubba.
Hey.
I just assumed you're speechless right now because of Tom Hanks is going to be on the show.
Yeah, I'm too busy. I'm over here like
nervous.
Jizzing in my pants.
He's nervous.
I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm a little excited too.
So, and speaking of opening for Tom Hanks, before we get into your team and whatnot, you were quoted recently, Phil, in saying that you can now cross off your bucket list, opened a show for Tom Hanks. Coach, I heard through the grapevine that in addition to your immediate family, all of the Tamulises back in Lithuania are all listening to this show. How proud are they of you?
Like I said before, I was very excited initially when I heard about the news, and then now I'm a little hesitant. I'm thinking it just might be a dude named Tom Hanks.
We've done that before.
Not the Forrest Gump, but some guy that's an insurance salesman in Ohio.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you, but I guess we'll find out soon. So, Coach, at the draft, you seem to get a bunch of guys who kind of fell a bit, resulting in some good value. I think of guys like Darren McFadden and Antonio Gates. Are you satisfied with the way that kind of turned out, or do you wish maybe things happened a little bit differently?
Yeah, it's funny because you try to stay away from those guys no matter what. Rank those guys, but this year I was like, just let the chips fall where they are, and I tried to go without a third-round pick, so, it could be really choosy on the positions I really wanted to attack first or whatnot. So I didn't even have a plan tight end to go in the 12th round. That's the way it ended up being. So someone Gates in the 12th round, you really can't bark at. So I'm happy with it. More concerned with my second-round picks. That's the biggest concern.
Hey Phil, you're breaking up a little bit, just so you know, but we're gonna move forward. We heard what you said. If maybe you could find a better spot. And Bub has a question for you.
We're gonna march on. We're gonna march forth. That's the Army's favorite day. Phil, how do you feel about Des Bryant as your keeper? Just it's been a couple weeks now. Would you change it, or are you happy with it?
Oh, I'm extremely happy with it. I'm not sure if it was quite a surprise to everyone. I'm not sure. I guess it was. People were talking how it was a little bit of a surprise. But, like I said, I didn't have a third-round pick, so I couldn't really be I can wait around for this guy. If I wanted a guy, I just wanted to grab him. And since I already had rights to the guy already, keep him.
I'll tell you
I'm not a big guy for trading draft picks too late to, get a Maurice Jones-Drew or somebody, just someone's all right, he's going to be serviceable. He can be called a keeper, So, in the second straight year where I kept the wide receiver, I really think the way the game's going now, it's going to be more and more wide outs chosen earlier in fantasy and quarterbacks being chosen, because it's more of a passing game. So, I'm comfortable with a wide receiver as my keeper.
Excellent. And kind of staying along the same lines there, Phil, a great segue, because this kind of goes to show the evolution of the dynasty. As of right now, and we're obviously, only coming out of week 3, but you're the only coach, the only team who hasn't made any trades at all involving next year's 2014 draft. As of right now, you're literally the only team that has, their pick in their round as of right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's good.
Is that a strategy of yours? And you may kind of touch on this earlier. Is it just coincidence?
Yeah, I know in the past I've always tried to stay within the 1 year, kind of calendar year type thing. I know. I think Scooper is the one that started the whole 2 years in advance type thing. But
I'm a pioneer.
I haven't what's that?
I'm a pioneer, Phil.
Pioneer. When the kids are going through second and third grade, they get on textbooks and say the Scooper. He's the one that started the 2-year draft window. And that fucker, Pete Newton's didn't do shit for those 2 years. But, no, it's something I like to keep, within, arm's length.
Right.
So, it's just, chances on me making trades for next year are probably more apt to happen now that the season's going on.
Excellent. Now, the Power Rankings Association, Coach Phil, hasn't really given you too much love so far here this year. You're not ranked in anything higher than 10th so far. That certainly may change here this week, but do you agree with the rankings thus far, or have you been maybe a little, miffed, if you will?
I was a little annoyed at first, and then once you start thinking about it, my first week was kind of horrible. I think it was the worst possible first week anybody could have possibly had. And also, Griffin actually made some strong points when in the last podcast how it's kind of difficult